Try to make this a quick one for you guys. Here we got a 2009 Volkswagen. We're getting an indicator light stating no bend lighting. Let me demonstrate this for you. And if you come in the car with the steering wheel straight, start it up, and we don't have the error message and we don't have the bulb indicator light on, this is with the steering wheel in the straight position. This is how you find out what side it is as well. So if we take and we turn the wheel, say to the right, and your light does not come on, that means the bend light on the passenger side is good. Now if we take and we turn the wheel past straight to the left and the light comes on, that means the bulb on the left side is most likely blown. Shortly here, since that indicator came on, we will be getting an error message. No bend light in AFS function. See owner's manual. Okay. Now push the emergency brake down a little bit. Okay. That just disables the daytime running lights. But if we take a look at these headlights, you'll see that there's another socket in there behind the turn signal bulb. You could just about see the bulb back in there, at least I can. There you go. That is your cornering lights. Alright, release the emergency brake. Take and turn the wheel to the right. See how that light comes on when you go past center? Alright, straighten the wheel. Hold up there. Light will go out. Now if we go over to the driver's side, turn the wheel to the left, nothing. Straight, left, nothing. So we just determine what bulb is blown, and that's going to be that cornering light right in there. We're going to have to replace. We're going to have to remove this headlight assembly and get a drop light. You will see this one connection, this wire harness that plugs into the headlight. On these Volkswagen style electrical connectors, you got to be really careful because they become brittle, especially in the engine compartment. And I don't have one here to demonstrate, but you'll see it once we get back on the vehicle. It's got a tab in the back. It's hard to really identify how these plugs disconnect from just looking at it from the outside. However, especially on this one, it's hot. It's hard to get your hand back in there. What you can do, you just gotta be careful. Let's get yourself, let me find it. It's like a pick with a 90 degree. You know, you don't want, the wider thing you have to pull, the better, because once you start getting narrow, like pointy, I should say, there's more of a chance of breaking through that plastic. However, this is a pretty thick pick with the 90, and you can usually get in there behind the retainer clip and push in on the plug and pull back and then pull out. It just gives you a little extra leverage, and sometimes that plug is a little hard to get to, so I'm just going to demonstrate with this. Right here. You'll actually be able to pull back on that tab a little bit. You can do this with a flathead screwdriver as well, but it's just hard to grab a hold of it. Okay, now right down in here, I don't know if you can see it from over there. You're gonna have to come over above me. You got this white tab. You see that? So you gotta remember which way to, just like that. You push it like that, and that unlatches the headlight. Behind the headlight assembly in the back, we're going to take and we're going to reach in there, we're going to grab a hold of it and kind of wiggle and twist it this way. Once you get it to twist that way a little bit, it should pop out, and from there we can slide out the headlight assembly like so. That's the bulb we got to get to. If you were just doing the regular headlight bulb, you'd be able to simply get them from right here. A T20 will do the trick. Okay, we're going to take and remove these 3 screws. What I did notice is the plastic is super brittle. We're going to take and pull this, it's like a little module. We're going to unplug that, just like so. You can see that's that. The piece I was telling you is super brittle, it's just falling apart. But we could probably grab that with a longer screw when we go put this back together. Okay, now that that's removed, you got these two tabs right here. You're going to pull down on them, and then that's going to unplug like so. Right in there is your cornering bulb. We're going to take and pop that out of its socket. To do so, we're going to take and turn it counterclockwise. Just like that. Now if you take a look at this bulb, it's real evident that it's blown. You can see, hopefully you can, I can, see the filament in the bottom of that bulb. Okay. With this one, we don't have to be super careful because we're replacing it. So if we touch it, it's okay. But we want to take and remove the old bulb like so. It's nice to keep track of your orientation. You see this tab is pointing towards this one that's bent up. It'll only go in one way for you because of this and the way it's shaped. If I try to go in the opposite direction, it'll plug in, but it won't go all the way down because of that tab. Okay, we're gonna be careful not to touch it at this point, not to contaminate it too bad. And like we took note on before, this is going to face the side with the bend, just like so. Alright, next we're going to take and place it into its socket. And if you recall, when we pulled it out, the wires were turned around the back side. So it makes it a little bit tricky. So you want to turn it. It may be different on whatever you're working on. But you want to turn it in a way now that you don't have to manipulate it too much while you're down inside that hole, because then you take more of a chance of contaminating that bulb. But as you see, it has this tab on it that's going to have to go in that open cutout, that open window per se. Next we're going to just take and lock it into position. And if you can't reach down there good, it's okay to grab a screwdriver and see if you could just give it a little push over. But we're locked all the way into position. You can see it back there, and you see it there. So you don't want to force it any more than where it wants to be, because then you can start breaking. It's only plastic. Okay, so we're back together there. Next we're going to take and reinstall this piece. You want to put your bottom in first. It's got these two holes down there you got to line up. I like to hear them pop a little better. Like that. Put this back up. It's going to take a little finagling because it's got that weather strip style plug. And you want to make sure that's seated in there good. This screw here is still good. This one's still good. We can take and snug them up. Like I said, just snug. It's only plastic. And as you can see, this one here, the plastic's broke. And this most likely is no longer going to reach. So we're going to grab something close to this outer diameter just so it retains that in there for us. Alright, I found a screw that took the place of that and was a little bit longer, so that's going to retain that in place well. As long as your seal is made, you definitely don't want moisture getting in there. Otherwise you're going to just be back in here sooner than later. Alright, we're ready to reinstall it into its socket. Pretty much put it in the same way you pulled it out. You'll feel it once you get it where it wants to be. You kind of go in on this angle. You might have to reach back to manipulate it a little bit, like that. That white tab has to be on the other side of that adjuster, and then it can lock in just like so. It doesn't seem like much. You would think the light would fall out, but believe it or not, that's all that retains that light in there. Now we're locked in place. We could take and plug the harness back in. Like that. Just go until you hear it click. Now at this point, we could test it. Start it up. With the steering wheel straight, you see that it's going to go through a self-aligning thing right now. We'll wait for it to get done with that. Turn to the left. Turn it to the right. There you go, straight. Now we'll be able to turn it to both sides. Without any warnings. Alright guys, thanks for watching.